Welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, December 12th, 2019. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. Royal Bank of Canada is selling its banks in the Eastern Caribbean, including here in SVG. RBC today announced it has entered into definitive agreements to sell all banking operations in the Eastern Caribbean to a consortium of indigenous banks within the region. The sale encompasses the branches of Royal Bank of Canada in Antigua, Dominica, Montserrat, St. Lucia, and St. Kitts and Nevis, as well as regional businesses operating under RBC Royal Bank Holdings EC Limited in Nevis, Grenada, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Collectively, these operations are referred to as RBC Eastern Caribbean. The consortium of 5 financial entities purchasing includes First National Bank of St. Lucia, Antigua Commercial Bank Limited, National Bank of Dominica Limited, the Bank of Montserrat, and Bank of Nevis Limited. Financial terms of the transaction were not disclosed. RBC, however, said in a news release that the transaction is subject to regulatory approval and other customary closing conditions and is expected to be finalized in the coming months. RBC is expected to release its first quarter 2020 results and host an earnings conference call on February 21st, 2020. At the end of this quarter, more than 4,000 persons at the voting age have been registered in the various constituencies. Registration for 2019 closed yesterday, and according to Supervisor of Elections Dora James, over the last few weeks, the number of persons coming forward to register have decreased.
Okay, we are still a little behind. I find that people are not coming forward as they should, but we welcome all those persons who have come so far. I find this week was a bit busy. I don't know if it's the barrels and all of that, but a number of persons have come forward this week to say that their cards were out and they would like to re-register. Well, the figure I quoted, it has to do with those persons whose ID cards have expired or will expire in this year, and those are the persons we are targeting to get to come forward to have a current ID card. So those figures are from the re-registration process. We have registration every week, Mondays and Wednesdays. Yeah, this week we close up and we have to work on those ID cards that we have outstanding for the remainder of the year.
James says registration will reopen in January, at which time they will be focusing on persons whose ID card expires in 2020.
Working on our nationals, we don't want anybody to rush or to feel neglected or left out and so on, because I know that there are some persons who are querying and wondering, if my card expires in 2019, will I still have that opportunity to vote? And the answer is yes. We will take all those persons whose cards are expiring in 2020. There's no rush to renew. Just 2020, once your card is going to be expiring in that year, we will take you. If it's 2021, you can wait. No rush for those persons. They will not be disadvantaged.
The University of the West Indies 5 Islands campus in Antigua is offering more programs to students in the region, particularly OECS countries. Campus Professor Stafford Griffith is visiting St. Vincent and the Grenadines and met with Minister of Education Sinclair Jimmy Prince. Professor Griffith said some of the programs offered need improving, which is what they are seeking to do.
Caribbean, to increase the pool of skills, of higher level skills that we have to support our national and regional development. And in that sense, we are way behind. Because for us, we live here, we're not sensitive to it, we live in the Caribbean. But if you look at the other countries which have moved forward, the proportion of their population that benefit from university education and higher skills training, you recognize that we really are in a state where we need to do a lot more to generate the kinds of higher level expertise needed for the world in which we live and in which we are going to have to compete and make our mark.
The UWI 5 Islands campus started its operations in August this year, and the new programs are expected to start in January 2020.
Effect from January, we are adding 2 shorter programs. They are certificate programs. The first is a Human Resource Development Program, and the second is a program in tourism and hospitality management in the Caribbean, and those 2 are both 1-year programs. So that's where we are at the moment with our programs. You've heard that my name is Professor Stafford Griffith. I have been appointed as the interim Pro-Vice Chancellor and the Principal of this new undertaking. And in that capacity, I am seeking to establish all the organs that are necessary for the proper and effective management of the campus.
Vincentians are being encouraged to take advantage of the new programs.
Our largest school is the School of Management, Sciences and Technology. And in that School of Management, Sciences and Technology, we are preparing students for bachelor's degrees in a number of specializations, including computer science, information technology, economics, management, banking, accounting, and tourism and hospitality services.
In other news, the Harvest Bible Chapel will be hosting a worship in the park this weekend at the Annisvale playing field. This activity is geared towards having fun through worship and offering up prayers for the Christmas season. Coordinator of the event, Assistant Pastor Junior Cottle, said the event is for all Vincentians.
There's a kind of tension in the atmosphere, especially now at Christmas, where there are a lot of things going on in relation to domestic violence and people feeling unsafe. But we want to let St. Vincent know that there is an environment that you can come and sense love, and an environment where you can experience not only God's love, but God's love through His people. So this event is primarily geared towards that. It's you are loved event. And so that's the primary message that's going to be sent from that.
Worship in the Park Director Walt Carter said a number of prominent gospel artists are expected to perform at the event.
Like Ronnie Richardson, we have the group Called Out that's directed by Sleepy Alfonso Richards. We have people like HHC Highlights for Christ from Barley. We have the band The Clarity, and we also have Harvest Bible Chapel worship team. We'll be there just praising God and giving Him our best. We also have Rodney Small and the band Resonance, who will be doing Christmas segments for those who love Christmas, who's everything about Christmas. So we have a very, very full package.
Worship in the Park is a biannual event which started in 2015. It is usually held during August, but this year it is being held at this time to give more persons the opportunity to participate.
From Chateaubriand, there's going to be a bus leaving that side at 2 p.m. From Bookerment area, there's going to be a bus leaving at 12:30. From the Kingston, Otley Hall, Edinburgh area, bus will be leaving there at 12:30 as well. There's a shuttle bus that's going to be running from 12:30 p.m. up to 5 p.m. From the Peace Memorial Hall to the Annisvale playing field. So that shuttle is going to be to and fro between that time, and at the end it's going to shuttle persons back to the Kingston area. From the Prospect, the beginning of Diamonds area, there's also a bus going to be there, Belair Daphne area, and not forgetting our lovely Georgetown folks. There's also going to be transportation from that specific area. So we're happy to open the event to all ages, all types of persons, whether young or old.
With a lot of meat and meat products being sold for the Christmas season, a number of environment or public health officers were out in the field today sharpening their skills to conduct meat inspection for the festive season. This through field exercises hosted by the Public Health Department. During the Christmas period, many venison consume meat provided by butchers island-wide, and the Public Health Department is charged with the responsibility of conducting inspections to ensure that meat is fit for consumption. Experienced Environment Health Officer Cecil Smith, who served as facilitator of the exercise, said today's exercise went well with theoretical sessions held yesterday. He said during today's exercise, the officers examined bovine pluck, which is the heart, liver and lungs of animals used for consumption. He explained that officers usually look for in the lungs.
Where we will open the lungs in that case and examine all the main bronchioles, make sure that there are no blockage, make sure that blood is not in that organ to congest it and make it unsafe for human consumption. Now I want to make this known that in the case of the lungs for any animal, the nutritional value is basically nil. And that is the part that is referred to by most butchers as the light liver. There is no such thing as light liver. Now when we do that, when we cut through the lungs, we make sure that there are no worms present or any other conditions. That will also expose if there are any TB lesions or any nodes or anything in that lungs that could be hazardous to health. We also look for cells that are what we refer to as necrotic. We trim those cells and make sure that everything else is okay.
The liver is another organ which the health officers carefully examine.
We then turn to the liver, where we incise into the liver, and as we incise into the liver, we aim mainly for the bile duct to make sure there are no obstruction there, and also there in those ducts it is consistent, and at the same time look for any lumps or any abnormal feeling in the lungs at incision. We also observe the color to make sure that it is a color of the normal liver.
The heart is another organ which the health officers pay close attention to, and Smith explain why this is important.
We will look at the heart, where we will cut through the aorta of the heart, straight through the heart, and we will examine the heart. And mainly at that time we look for the heartworm. We would look for any cyst that might be in the heart or any obstruction in the heart for that matter. We also know that the tinea saginata, which is the beef tapeworm, has the heart muscles as a place where they can survive. And we realize too that all infection goes through the heart because the heart acts as a pump to pump it around. So if there is any problem, we will also pick some of those up in the heart. Once those are cleared, then the animal, the organs, those organs that we spoke about.
In some police news now, a serving corporal of police with the SVG police force has been arrested and charged with the offences of burglary and indecent assault. The officer appeared before the family court yesterday and pleaded not guilty to the charges. He was granted bail in the sum of $5,000 with one surety. This latest development rocking the SVG police force comes about 2 weeks after two corporals, namely Michael Lynch and Derek Humphrey, were arrested and charged with the offence of rape. They too were taken before the family court and were not required to plead to the charges. They were released on bail. In light of these charges, the Police High Command is reassuring members of the general public that under no circumstances does the organization condone any unlawful acts being perpetrated by a member of the RSVG police force against any member of the general public, noting that as police officers, they took an oath and have a vested responsibility to protect citizens and visitors alike. And the police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of Winston Janky Jack, a 69-year-old farmer of South Rivers. Jack reportedly consumed a poisonous substance. He was rushed to the Georgetown Modern Medical Center where he was subsequently pronounced dead by the district medical officer. A post-mortem examination is to be conducted on the body of the deceased to ascertain the cause of death.